Hey, what up, everybody? Big time. Just finished WrestleMania 22. This was a good thing. I actually watched half of this WrestleMania. I don't know, maybe a couple of days ago. It took me a little while to get back to it because I was busy doing other things. But not what 23 was, not what 24 was. Overall, not one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. Um, I don't know how to really explain it. This was the year of John Cena. He'd won the title last year, held the title for most of the year on Monday Night Raw. You had the big Triple H run coming back to fight him. It was a good guy against a good guy. Doesn't really normally give you that great of a feel when they do that sort of a show, but all in all, there is positive in the show more than there is negative. When this show starts off, it starts off with the tag team championship match. You got Big Show and Kane against Carlito and Chris Masters. I think this was almost the writing on the wall that the WWE was going to stop the push of these two young stars. Carlito and Chris Masters, I saw a lot in both of these guys and thought that they would pull off some sort of screw job finish, how they won this, and that would continue their push and rise to the top. They had been there, they weren't the number one and number two heels, but they were right there behind it. They were at least climbing up higher on the mid card than anybody else. Reaching the main event with the elimination chamber and so on. They were really looking for new guys, and it looked like they were really making new starts at this time. But this is when it went south on them. Big Show and Kane got the win in the opening match. From there we go to the Money in the Bank ladder match. This one was Rob Van Dam, Shelton Benjamin, Ric Flair, Finley, Matt Hardy, and Bobby Lashley. This honestly might be one of my least favorite Money in the Bank matches. Rob Van Dam pulls out the win. Ric Flair looks lost out there, but does all that he can, knowing that he's out there performing like this could be his last WrestleMania match. Everybody else was just sort of there. From there we go to JBL and Chris Benoit putting on a pretty good damn match. JBL pulled out the win. Benoit, does everything he can. He puts on the one of the best wrestling matches of the night in that with JBL. But it was a good, fun match. Nice to see Jillian out there. From there we go to what made Edge a real main eventer. I think that this program that he worked with Mick Foley put him over more than anything that he'd done before, and got him to the top, to where you really look at Edge like this guy is a real main eventer, and that I believe it when he's out there with Cena and so on. I mean, it was pretty actually cool to see Edge actually do the spot where he pulls out the thumbtacks. No, actually no, I think Foley pulled out the thumbtacks, and that normally means that it's gonna backfire and Foley's gonna go through the tacks just like it's done 1,000 times before. But Edge actually is the one that takes a spot with the thumbtacks in his back. The flaming table is what they've used in the 1,000 WrestleMania videos from there on. I guess that is Mick Foley's big moment. One of the only guys that actually have a real big WrestleMania moment, and then one of the moment they lost that he loses. One of the highlights of this match is Lita gets caught with the barbed wire at one point, and she is physically scared of Mick Foley the whole match, but she is terrified when she notices that there's blood coming from her lip, and she just I don't know, she outperforms herself right there. They're actually getting involved in the match. She tries to get involved in the match a few times, but she is scared to death of what Foley's gonna do to her if he catches her hands on there. From there, we go to one of my favorite programs of the whole entire year. Booker T, to me, sold for the Boogeyman, and just made his character even better with him and Charmel being scared of the Boogeyman and doing everything they can to get in and out of this match. Boogeyman wins in a I don't know, sort of the jokey moment of WrestleMania. It is just no, it's not great, but it's funny and it's good, and it's one of the few times they've actually tried to put funny into WrestleMania and it actually worked inside of a match. From there we go to one of my favorite matches of the night. I would honestly call it my favorite match of the night. There's just so much intensity. The storyline for Divas has never been this good and never been better since. So there's no way to put this match over anymore. Mickey James and Trish Stratus going at it. I don't remember how long this feud actually honestly went. It was, I don't know, probably at least a couple months. I'm not sure if it was 6 months, but it was good to see Mickey James coming in as the stalker of Trish Stratus and then drawing her in, and then becoming that evil psycho, I guess, sort of lesbian chick. Um, and they actually brought Beth Phoenix in during this feud. Mickie James broke her jaw, so we don't actually know where the storyline was going from there. But they got to here, and Mickie James pulled out the win, which was really, really a big surprise to me after seeing how they didn't go with the young stars before with Carlito and Chris Masters. I thought they were just going to go with the same old same, but Trish put Mickie over. I met Mickie earlier this October, and it is what I really wanted to talk to her about was this match. And one thing led to another, and her conversation with the security guard about some girl in Oklahoma that was kidnapped or something like that meant that I did not get to ask her any questions at all, and I got the creepers from her when I tried to take her picture. But maybe I'll get the chance to meet up with her at WrestleMania again. But this is probably one of the best Divas WrestleMania matches out there of all time. Real good stuff, actual real wrestling, and real fun to watch. From there, we go to one of my least favorite Undertaker matches of all time. Undertaker defeats Mark Henry in a casket match. Mark Henry's just one of those guys that they threw out there when they were actually making the streak matter, and you just knew that Undertaker was going to win. It didn't really matter. You didn't believe Mark Henry had any chance in hell at winning it. Shawn Michaels against Vince McMahon at a no holds barred match. This was really, really fun. They let you know right from the very beginning. Shawn cuts a promo saying that this is not going to be his normal WrestleMania match. He's not going to be out there high flying, trying to outwork all the other guys to have the best match on the card. He's just going to go out there and beat the holy hell out of Vince McMahon. And this has run-ins from everybody from Shane to the Spirit Squad, and you see, I guess you see the beginning of a DX reunion when Shawn Michaels climbs the ladder, does the crotch chop on Vince McMahon. A damn fun match, longest match on the card, I believe. It felt like it went for like at least a half an hour, but never once did you ever feel like it went, too far. It's a normal Vince McMahon match. He gets a little bit of heat in there, but for the most part, it's him getting the shit kicked out of him the whole time. From here we go to everybody's favorite triple threat matches in WrestleMania. These don't really go well together, and this is one of the really, really good examples of why you shouldn't put three guys in a match like this on the biggest match of the card. It's Mysterio, Orton, and Angle. This finished off the whole Ray's quest to win the title to do it for Eddie. It was, I don't know. I think everybody knew it was going to happen. Nobody wanted it to happen for the reason, not to knock Mysterio as not being able to win the championship, but for the reason that they put the championship on him was Eddie's death. Like they were trying to make it up to everybody or something like that. Um, you feel bad for Vicky. Vicky's out there, and Vicky's actually thinking that this is a big moment, and everybody's just sort of looking at it like they know what it is. But um, I don't know. Mysterio wins the title. One of my favorite spots in there is when Angle actually has Orton in the ankle lock, and Orton's tapping out. The ref doesn't see it. Mysterio breaks it up. That was really, really good because you really, really believed at that point that Angle was gonna win the title and keep it. From there we go to one of the Playboy pillow fights. They did this for a couple years to put some publicity out there for the girls being in Playboy. This year's was Candice Michelle, and she fought Tori Wilson. Candice Michelle at this point wasn't very good worker at all. I think by the time she left, before she kept getting hurt, I think she turned into actually a really good worker who put in a lot of work, and you actually sort of believed her matches, and she was actually a believable champion. But she wasn't there yet, but she had a huge set of cans. It's fun to see him roll around in the ring with the bed. They actually only do a couple of wrestling moves, but it is what it is. It's to get you set up for the main event. John Cena and Triple H. Triple H got the chance to be in the main event by winning a Raw tournament that went on for weeks and weeks. I believe they called it something like the Quest for Gold or um, shit. I can't remember what they called it. It was something involved with gold, and it had the whole tournament thing that came down to a triple threat match with Triple H, Rob Van Dam, and The Big Show. Triple H won. They did the face versus face main event, which I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be fun for this year's WrestleMania. But at this point, everybody was turning on John Cena. He had his year-long run after winning the title at 21, and I don't know. Most people are over with it. You can tell when he gets there. I want to say that the crowd is like the easiest way to put it, it's like 25, 25, 50. 50% of the crowd is ready to go home. They're not really into this match at all. 25% of the crowd is behind Triple H, and 25% of the crowd is behind John Cena. Um, I was out there, not out there, but when I was watching this, I was really into Triple H, and I wanted my guy to kick his ass. I felt pretty shitty when he didn't, but I understood it. And when you watch the show, you'll understand because the whole time they're really putting John Cena over. This is the first WrestleMania that he's highlighted, that he's been the main event at, and for all the work that he put on Raw, he deserves it. But when you watch this show back, you sort of have a bad taste in your mouth because the crowd didn't want Cena to win that night. Triple H wins the crowd over, and he just wasn't able to pull it out. But it is a good WrestleMania. I wouldn't put it anywhere near my top 10. But the best moments are Mickey James and Trish and Edge and Mick Foley, and that's about it.